What should we make about all this TikTok stuff? First, a disclaimer: I don't use TikTok. Other than some fleeting videos cross posted on other applications, I don't watch it. The big news is the US government is threatening to force TikTok to be purchased by an American company, turn over its algorithm, or face being banned in the US. Why? Well, we're told TikTok is spying on us and is being used to propagandize and psychologically manipulate its users. How do we know this? Well, the government says so. Has the government ever lied to us before? Hmm, that's babies getting pulled from the incubators in Kuwait, for those of you a little too young. And there's Colin Powell ending his political career talking about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Well, first problem in general is there's Republicans, there's Democrats, and one of them is coming for you. Whoops, no, it's a bipartisan effort. Now, the word bipartisan sends chills up my spine the same way it would if I heard banjos in the forest at midnight. Nobody in the public asked for this, but both sides consider this a great idea. You can't get them to agree on border security, which most people are asking for. They can't come up with a bipartisan fix for crime or the economy. Again, something most people want. But they sure can come together for this pressing issue of TikTok. It's almost someone other than the voting public has the congressional ear. Second problem: why all of a sudden now? This issue with TikTok has been bouncing around DC since Trump was in office. There's all these pressing issues: the border, Ukraine, crime, the economy, and many of these things have been an issue for almost as long as TikTok. Yet, no bipartisan action for those. These two problems, why this and why now, are highly intertwined. So now excuse me while I bury the lead and explain the answers to these questions a little later. TikTok is spying on its users. How do we know this? Well, government says so. And they've been saying it for 5 years, but now they really mean it. What exact information does TikTok collect that American apps like Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and Instagram don't collect? Surely the list of what is different about TikTok and its American competitors are given to us as the lead for every legacy news outlet report on the topic. But, of course, we don't actually hear what TikTok is collecting at all. We're told that they're doing something different than Facebook, but no one really seems to be saying what exactly it is that's different. So, we should just give the government the power to ban TikTok for spying without knowing what kind of spying it's doing. Seems like a good idea to me. Yes. The BBC investigated and concurs with findings in a Georgia Institute of Technology study. The findings were that TikTok pretty much collects the same user info as the other top apps. Now, should we automatically believe these findings? No, but they are asserting this with research data while the government is saying, trust us. Surely, there should at least be a conversation about this. And what of the spying assertion? Well, isn't our government doing mass collections against the American citizenry as we speak? And what if TikTok is spying on me? I haven't touched a classified document in 20 years, nor have I been involved with any kind of crucial US infrastructure. What does it matter if TikTok knows my comings and goings and my personal predilections? Now, I could see some concerns for people in government and critical industry, And these types of people could be prohibited by their employers from using TikTok without a nationwide ban. Our intelligence apparatus has countless billions of dollars poured into it. How hard would it be for them to produce an app that sandboxes TikTok? The government could tell everyone, hey, this TikTok is dangerous. We'll provide a TikTok sandbox app for free. And the app could warn me if I'm about to send my credit card information or my abnormal interest in fuzzy pink slippers to the Chinese. So, what about this whole propaganda and mental conditioning thing? Much has been made about the assertion that there is a version of TikTok for China that promotes wholesome content and has a timer to minimize children's interaction. And that's versus the export version that we see that seems to promote immoral stupidity. Quite the evil plan, huh? Well, what if it's less sinister than that? What if the intended design of the algorithm is to give the users more of what they want, to convince them to spend more time and thus drive up their ad revenue? And what if countering this, the Chinese government said, we don't care what you do outside our country. Here, we have limits we expect you to maintain here. Now, keep in mind, we have many stories of American tech entrepreneurs not allowing their children to use the social media apps they created because they know the damage it does. China has been selling and continues to sell dangerous products to the US markets. This includes lead contaminated toys, poisoned pet food, dangerous cosmetics, unsafe car tires, tainted seafood, and a long list of things, including something they gave us for free in 2020. These have killed Americans and likely impacted our long term health. The companies providing these deadly consumer products are still in business. They're not owned by Americans and they're still selling to US citizens. But stop the presses. TikTok has scary filters, so we need to ban it. A big problem with this is the bill being touted to deal with TikTok is not a TikTok specific bill. It allows the government to act on any social media platform controlled by a foreign adversary. Note, they don't say ownership, but control. Who decides if a social media platform is controlled by a foreign adversary? The executive branch does. Who gets to decide what a foreign adversary is? Well, the executive branch. There doesn't appear to be any objective criteria, to my knowledge, that describes what foreign control is. Would a South African born man disliked by our establishment count? ByteDance has at least 20% of American ownership, much of it institutional investors in the pension and retirement fund area. The devaluing of this stock will hurt retirees, both current and future. Like it or not, people make a living via TikTok. Some use it to earn extra money, and many use it to promote their businesses. I guess they have no rights. So, back to our ultimate question, why this and why now? Per the dumps in the Twitter files, we now know that the US government has pressured American social media to suppress information they dislike and to shadow ban and actually ban users that are spreading messages they don't like. There's a case before the Supreme Court on this very issue. It would appear that the US government has no such leverage on TikTok yet. So why now? This has been a dead issue for 5 years, except for select neocons and TikTok's social media competitors. In October 2023, the issue started gaining ground and has continued to gain ground until now. I believe Glenn Greenwald has discovered the trigger, but may have misunderstood why it's become an imperative. Greenwald has cited numerous sources, including the Wall Street Journal, Business Insider, and several others, that link the renewed interest in controlling TikTok with the Hamas attack on Israel. Now, Greenwald, and I recommend him, but everyone has their quirks. He is a bit of an Israeli phobe. And that's not code talk for anti Semitic. I don't believe he's remotely so, but he does have a bias against Israel itself. So he puts the entirety of this uh, story about Hamas and Israel in the laps of the pro Israel lobby, saying essentially it's the pro Israel lobby that's driving the TikTok ban. The Israeli lobby lacks the pull to do this alone, but I do agree with him that they're part of what's going on. However, what else came in the wake of this attack? Anti Israel, pro Hamas videos popping up on TikTok. And this has created mass controversy. Very specifically, it has split the Democratic Party. The rift is so bad that the state of Michigan, with its large Arab population, is completely up in the air for the November election. Michigan Democrat non Arab leftists refusing to vote in November could be a tipping point for the state. Biden can't win without Michigan. The goal of bringing TikTok to heel or shutting it down is to end the amplification of this issue and to give hard leftists a chance to calm down before November. It's also to prevent any new similar issues coming up that might cause leftist voters to become so angry by some as yet unforeseen event that occurs between now and November that they refuse to go out and vote. In the end, certainly there must be existing laws where we can use due process and discovery via the justice system so we can actually find out what's going on with TikTok rather than granting sweeping new powers to the government. So, in the comments below, do you actually use TikTok? Do you make content? Do you watch it? What's your opinion on it? Do you see, or I guess, do you agree with the government's take? This is a great immediate danger that needs to be taken care of right this moment? Or is it something that we could investigate over the next several months and try to figure out what exactly the it in this is? Please smash the like button. If you have come across this video and you're not a regular subscriber, check out my other titles. You might find a lot of things interesting. Consider subscribing. And if you know somebody who might find this interesting, please share it with them. Thank you for spending time with me this evening. Hope to see you again in a future video.